vaccine would be essential for bringing the pandemic under control, which is why WHO proposed the ACT Accelerator. But it's important to emphasize that a vaccine will complement the other tools we have, not replace them. A vaccine on its own will not end the pandemic. Surveillance will need to continue. People will still need to be tested, isolated, and cared for. Contacts will still need to be traced and quarantined. Communities will still need to be engaged, and individuals will still need to be careful. We still have a long road to travel.
Dr. Mohammed Munir is also a virologist at Lancaster University and the UK. He joins us now. Great to have you on. Now, I'm sure you were listening, but that soundbite that we played at the top of the show from the head of the World Health Organization, him basically saying that a vaccine by itself will not be enough. What does he mean by that?
Well, I think the primary objective of the vaccine is really immunize the people so that we can break the chain of transmission of the virus from one person to another person, from one community to another community. But the problem with the vaccines is that, particularly for the COVID-19, that it will take significant amount of time really to immunize the people at the scale it is required to break that transmission chain. So that means that we still have to stick with the public health measures that are already been put in place to really support the immunization that would come across with the vaccine. So vaccine alone would be insufficient to break really that chain, but along with all the control measures, vaccine would do the wonder. So it cannot be replaced, as it's been said by Tedros, but it is certainly an important tool to contribute to this curtailing this pandemic.
Okay, Nicola was briefly talking about it. I was wondering if you could expand on it. As far as I understand, both the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccines seem to be using this new gene-based technology, or mRNA, messenger RNA. What exactly is this and how does it work?
Yeah, so these are relatively new technologies, haven't been applied before. So what the mRNA vaccine does is take the genetic code of the virus and put into a carrier, and that carrier is injected into the cell where this mRNA make the antigen, the spike protein that is encoded onto the surface of the virus. And as soon as our body sees that, they sense it and start producing the antibody responses, and also prime the T cells. And T cells are critical to eliminate the infected cell, so that if the virus enters, the antibodies bind onto, and if the cells are infected, then the T cell will act. So both antibodies and T cell will work together to eliminate the infection in vaccinated people.
Is mRNA technology, does that seem to be the most effective way in terms of finding a vaccine for this coronavirus? And how does it differ from the Russians, which many weeks ago have come out with their own vaccine, the Sputnik 5?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, mRNA-based vaccine these are relatively new, and it just because the mRNA vaccine can be produced relatively quickly, because all you need to know is the genetic coding of this spike gene in case of coronavirus. So you can scale it up very quickly. And since these are not injected through any other adenovirus, for example, which is based on Oxford vaccine or Sputnik 5, so these are relatively considered safer. So, I mean, as Nicola been mentioning before, because of this capability of early manufacturing, Moderna, Pfizer, these were in the first few of the companies, those were able to start the trial. So this is just the one approach, but then we have other approaches like a vectored vaccine, killed vaccines. For example, Sputnik 5 that you mentioned is based on adenovirus. Those are common cold viruses that are causing infection in human, but they are modified in such a way that do not cause disease, but take the antigen to the body. So mRNA is one side, but certainly we have other approaches as AstraZeneca vaccine. So hopefully those will be generating results in a couple of weeks. We will have a lot more alternative to think about which one would be taken forward altogether.
All right, Dr. Mohammed Munir, we're going to have to leave it there. Pleasure to talk to you. I always learn a lot when I speak with you. Thank you very much.